that I should not be holding this, so I'm gonna drop this in the engine. Let's be smart about it. Oh, okay, don't lose that. Don't lose that. What's up everyone, the Blue XB back again with another video. My name is Jake. Today we're going to be installing this EGR Hood Deflector to cover up a whole bunch of rock chips and ugliness on the front of every single Scion XB hood, that little strip between the headlights. This is the part number for it. You can try and find it on your own. I bought this one a few years ago and I've just had it sitting around. I finally decided to throw it on. Let's jump into the install. This is the hood deflector itself. It screws in on 4 places by placing 4 clips into where the weather stripping goes on the front of the hood, and then there's 2 retaining clips on the top that screw into the retainer and slide onto the hood right here. This is what the front of my hood looks like before we install that hood deflector. It is just covered in rock chips, pitting, bugs, a little bit of faded paint. I've tried everything, it's even been resprayed, but it's a losing battle with it being a painted surface facing forward. It's a common XB problem, but the bug deflector should take care of it. Here's what comes in the package. I have it all organized and set up exactly how they want you to put it on. Here's the instructions. If you'd like to pause the video, take a screenshot of those. They should be clear enough for you to see it. To start, I have these laid out in the order that they're going to be installed on the hood, going from left to right. For these side clips, you stick on the adhesive pad to protect the paint, the clip slides over it, and then the hood deflector screws onto the clip to hold it on. Then with the middle clips, there's 4 of these. You take off your weather stripping, then you remove the original clips, you pop these into place. They're gonna seem loose at first, but they'll get tighter with the pressure from the screw included right here. And then these are the order that you're gonna put these pieces together. The screw is gonna insert into the black spacer, and then the washer is gonna go onto the screw. And then once we install the hood deflector, I'll explain what order they're gonna go in there. And then the weather stripping installs over that black spacer, and then here's the other side of that hood clip. Let's begin the install. Start by opening your hood. Our hood is now open. Here's the weather stripping I was talking about. There's 4 clips on it. The slots in the hood deflector line up with these. In the picture, it almost looks like it wants you to put it here, but there's no holes. So this is what they mean, and this just stays on here. You can pull this off pretty easily. Here's halfway done. I ended up getting some needle nose pliers to pull them out. It's easiest to get the needle nose and slot it in between those 2 holes there and just pry down. You won't break it. They come right off. I've been pulling this off as well. This comes off pretty easy. The holes are pretty small, so they might take a little bit to stretch on. You can see, you can just pull it off like that. It comes out pretty easily. There we go. And then we can take our pliers and grab it like that in the middle. And my hood is very gross because I rode on a bunch of dirt roads. Yours should not be that way. And then just pull it out like that. And see, it's not even broken. Just a reminder that this black tab faces towards the windshield when you reinstall. See, there's the holes. And then that's the hole, and another hole that you're going to be putting those white clips into. Turns out that there's 5 holes, so you only need to take the outer 2 out. This middle one can stay and the weather stripping can stay hanging, so I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that, but it was a great demonstration of how to remove them. Now we can install these white screw plugs. They literally just pop in. Just make sure you put them in the right hole. Like that. And just go 1, 2, 3 more. That's what it should look like. That's the correct way to orient them. I don't really think it matters, but that lines up with the hood. So that's what I'm gonna do. These aren't exactly confidence inspiring the way that they push in. There's no snap like the original ones. They just are tightly pushed in there. I think they should be okay. Now we can move on to the next step, putting the actual hood deflector on. Here's the correct order. I'm just gonna put it right here. That way you can read it. We are on step 5. So the correct sequence is screw plugs, those white plugs we just put in, the hood protector itself, you line up the holes, then you put the silver washers, the spacers, and then the screws. they should look like this. And then after that, you're gonna resecure the rubber trim in each position. Having an extra set of hands will definitely be helpful for this next part. Once you've put those white clips in, you want to set the hood deflector onto the hood itself. That way it lines up with each of the holes, and then you want to try your best to press on the hood deflector onto those white clips so that the little indentations in the white clips match up to the hood deflector itself, the holes in it. And then you can go ahead and try your best to screw in that screw sandwich, as I call it, into the deflector itself to secure it. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and stretch the weather stripping over. I struggled with this part just because you're holding it above your head. It would be helpful to stand on a step ladder if you're short, but there's a lot of small pieces, so just be careful that you don't drop them into the engine bay. This should give you a better visual of what we're actually doing. This is off the hood. I just wanted to try this out to make sure that I was doing it right. So here's the order they go in. It goes white clip, hood deflector, washer, spacer, and then screw holds it all together. Okay, here's a little update. I covered the engine because I dropped one of the screw clusters in there and I lost the washer. This is a replacement washer. Thankfully I had one that was the same size. But what I've been doing is I started actually with this one because that was the easiest to pop the white piece into the black hole. It's shaped so it clips in kind of. So what I've been doing is I've been holding it like this so that the white piece sits in. So you kind of want to angle it like that. And then I've just been screwing this in by holding the screw. And I'm not making it too tight because you want to align it to be centered, because you want to align it right here along the edges as well. So this is the last one, and then I'm going to tighten all these up, and then we're going to move on to this side piece right here. That should be the easiest part. Let's get the last one in. Hold down that deflector so it sits flush with the indentation of that white piece. Go ahead and start screwing it in, and then make sure it sits in there tight and it's not going to fall out. And then just apply pressure with the screwdriver to screw it in nice and tight, so that way it snugs up the white clip and doesn't pull out of the hood itself. This is at normal speed, so you can see how fast I'm screwing this in. You don't want to go too fast, you don't want to use power tools. Just gently screw it in with medium pressure and it should be fine. So I went ahead and snugged them all up with the screwdriver. This thing's on there, not moving from side to side, not pulling or pushing or anything like that. It should be very, very stiff. So now I'm gonna go ahead, and it says to wait to reinstall this. So let's close the hood, not all the way, and move on to these side pieces. First thing we're gonna do is clean off the hood area with this alcohol wipe inside and out. That way our adhesive sticks well. The easiest way to install the paint protection film is to line it up with the top of the headlight right there. You can test fit it, you can mark it, whatever works best for you. Then go ahead and slide the metal bracket on and make sure that the hole aligns with the hole in the deflector. Now we can screw it in, just another Phillips. You just want to line up the holes. And then it goes screw, washer, hood deflector, bracket. Weather stripping is back on. I did have to cut a tiny little slit in the hole to the side of it to help it get on. This one I messed up and I cut too much, so it's kind of droopy right here. This part's okay. This part's just like factory, and this part's also just like factory. So using this hole as an example, pretend the weather stripping goes from left to right, cut a tiny little slit, like maybe that long, right here on this side, and then reverse it for the other side so that it doesn't pull. Don't cut up or don't cut down. That won't work. Here we go, all installed, looking pretty. Looks like my XB has a mustache now. This one fits really nicely. It's got a nice little gap right here, so it's not gonna rub. It sits out, so you can actually get behind it with a thin microfiber and still clean. It's nice and uniform. No scratches on it yet. It looks very nice on the blue. It's not really noticeable at all. It kind of blends in almost. It kind of looks like the new Ferrari Doldici Cilindri with that black strip across the front. It just finishes off the front of the car, especially when the front of your hood is pitted like mine. There's two styles of hood deflectors that you can get for the second generation Scion XB. The first one that I've got here just goes between the headlights. The second one is one that has little winglets that go above the headlights. So kind of right there. And it gives a little bit more protection up top as well, along the top there. This one that I have right here is an OEM Canadian Toyota accessory. Here's the part number for it. I don't know if it's still available, but might as well put it in the video. It comes with all of the hardware and everything. I even have installation instructions for it. This one is very, very similar to another one that's available for sale right now that I'll try and link in the description below. But just two different options depending on what you like. This one kind of looks like a mustache, and this one is a little bit more bulky on the front of the XB. Let me know in the comments below which style of hood protector you prefer. The OEM style does install a little bit differently, but it's still very straightforward. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.